Look, I need you to tell your family that movie night is canceled tonight because daddy needs to stare at a blank screen and try not to hyperventilate for the next 48 hours. I need you to understand something. While you were sleeping last night, while you were thinking about football or what you're going to have for brunch tomorrow, the financial infrastructure of the Western world just flickered. It didn't go out. It didn't explode. It flickered. And in the world of high-frequency trading, a flicker is worse than an explosion. An explosion you can see. A flicker makes you question your sanity. My name is John. It's Saturday, January 31st, 2026. The markets are closed. Trading floors are empty. Usually this is when things settle down, when the data gets processed, when the clearinghouses run their batch jobs, reconcile the books, publish reports that tell us who owns what. It's the boring part of finance. It's the plumbing. But today the plumbing is leaking radioactive waste. We've been monitoring the data feeds from the CME group, Chicago Mercantile Exchange, the most important financial exchange on the planet. And we've noticed something that shouldn't happen, something that cannot happen if the system is actually solvent. The lights have gone out. I'm not talking about a power outage here. I'm talking about an information blackout. We've been trying to pull the daily delivery notices report. We've been trying to pull the issues and stops data, the holy grail of physical metal movement. And what are we getting? Silence. Fields populated with zeros, timestamps that are old, a reporting glitch that just happens to coincide with the most violent week in gold market history. Do you believe in coincidences? Because I don't. I believe in crime. And what we're looking at, this is the digital fingerprint of the biggest bank heist in history. Let me explain exactly what's missing here, because unless you're a forensic accountant, you might miss how significant this really is. Every day the CME publishes two sets of numbers. Number one is volume. This tells us how many contracts were traded. I bought, you sold, simple. Number two is issues and stops. This tells us how many of those contracts actually resulted in physical delivery. I bought and I demanded the actual gold bar. These two numbers have to match up. The math has to balance. If 100 people stood for delivery, the report has to show 100 notices issued. But for the last 2 weeks, we've been seeing irregularities. Volume numbers suggesting massive deliveries, but the issues and stops report showing nothing, or showing numbers that are mathematically impossible. And today, the report simply didn't update. The CME issued some vague statement about technical reporting issues. Technical issues. That's corporate speak for we've lost control of the ledger. Now you might think, so what? It's a computer bug. They'll fix it Monday. No, you don't understand. The CME isn't a video game. It's not Netflix buffering because too many people are watching. This is the central nervous system of the global economy. They spend billions on redundancy, backups, cybersecurity. They don't just have a glitch on the weekend of a 2 million ounce delivery cycle. That's like the vault door at Fort Knox accidentally falling open the same day a convoy of trucks drives by. This isn't a bug. This is a cover-up. And to understand what they're covering up, you have to look at the shadows. You have to look at the rumors circulating about a group called Salt Typhoon. This isn't a weather event. This is the code name for a state-sponsored hacking group, allegedly from China, that's been penetrating U.S. critical infrastructure for months. We've heard reports of them in telecom networks, in the power grid, but the one target nobody talked about, the financial settlement layer. Here's the theory that's starting to leak out on dark web forums. What if Salt Typhoon didn't hack the CME to destroy it? What if they hacked it to front-run it? Imagine you're a hacker working for a foreign government that desperately needs gold. You don't want to blow up the exchange, you want to use it. You infiltrate the algorithm that matches buyers and sellers. You insert code, a ghost protocol that prioritizes your orders above everyone else's. You drain physical metal out of registered vaults, move it into your accounts, but you suppress the reporting so nobody sees the drain happening in real time. You're stealing the gold, but the security camera is showing a full vault on a loop. This explains the glitch. The reason CME can't publish the report today is because the numbers don't add up. The computer is trying to reconcile the books and seeing zero gold in the vault. But the ledger says there should be 50 tons. The algorithm is crashing because reality and the database have decoupled. They can't publish the report because if they do, they'll reveal the vault is empty. They'll reveal the metal is gone. So they pull the plug, declare technical issues, buy themselves 48 hours over the weekend to try and find the missing metal, or cook the books, or beg the Federal Reserve for a bailout. They're frantically trying to patch the hole in the hull while the ship is sinking. But while they're busy fixing their reporting error, the market is starting to smell smoke. Smart money knows that when data goes dark, it means liquidity is gone. You don't hide data when business is good. You hide data when you're insolvent. And the proof? This is systemic fracture, not just a computer bug. It's in the price action. If this were just a reporting glitch, arbitrage bots would still be working. The algorithms that keep prices aligned between New York, London, Mumbai, They don't need the daily report. They run on millisecond data feeds. But those bots are broken too. The spread, the price difference between gold in Mumbai and gold in New York, has blown out to a level that's physically impossible. We're talking about a $283 gap. That's not a spread. That's a Grand Canyon. That's the market screaming that the connection has been severed. The hack or the glitch has broken the bridge between the paper market in New York and the physical market in Asia. Let me explain why this spread matters, why arbitrage is dead, and why Monday morning is going to be a bloodbath for anyone holding paper contracts. In a normal market, we have high-frequency trading firms, companies that spend millions laying fiber optic cables across oceans just to shave 3 milliseconds off connection speed. They run algorithms, arbitrage bots that scan the world 24/7 for price differences. If gold is 1 cent cheaper in New York than Mumbai, the bot buys New York and sells Mumbai. Locks in that 1 cent profit instantly. Does this millions of times a day. It's free money. So if there's a $283 difference, what should happen? Every single bot on the planet should be screaming. Every hedge fund, every bank, every algorithm should be backing up the truck. They should be buying New York gold with both hands and selling it in Mumbai until prices snap back together. The spread should close in seconds. But it hasn't closed. It's been open for 6 hours, just sitting there, staring at us. Why? Why is nobody picking up the $283 bill lying on the sidewalk? There's only one answer. Because you can't move the metal. The arbitrage trade requires 2 steps. Step 1, buy the cheap paper contract in New York. Step 2, take delivery of the physical bar and ship it to Mumbai to sell. The bots are trying step 1, but they're hitting a brick wall at step 2. The computers know, or the risk managers controlling them know, that if you buy the New York contract, you'll never get the gold. They know the CME vault is empty. They know technical issues means insolvency. If you buy a contract for $5,200, but the exchange forces you to settle for cash because they don't have the metal, you can't complete the trade. You're left holding a paper bag while the price in Mumbai rips higher. So the bots have been turned off, kill switch engaged. Liquidity providers looked at the risk of non-delivery and decided it's infinite. This means arbitrage is dead. And when arbitrage dies, the global market dies. We no longer have a global price of gold. We have a New York price, which is fake, and a Mumbai price, which is real. The US market has become an island of irrelevance, like a store advertising TVs for $10, but when you walk in, shelves are empty. Sure, the price is low, but you can't buy anything. And it's not just gold. Look at silver. The spread between London spot market and physical market in Hong Kong has blown out to $13. $13. That's more than 10% of the price. Usually the spread is 10 cents. This tells us the metal is trapped. Silver in Hong Kong is being hoarded behind a wall. It can't leave. If you have silver in London, you can't get it to Hong Kong fast enough. If you have silver in Hong Kong, you're not selling it to London because you know the London price is too low. The flow is stopped. Velocity of money hits 0. This is the signal of systemic seizure, financial equivalent of a heart attack. The blood, liquidity, isn't pumping to the extremities. And when blood stops pumping, tissue starts to die. We're watching death of the paper pricing mechanism in real time. The $283 gap is the insolvency premium. The market charging you a massive fee for the risk that the US financial system is actually broke. But why now? Why did arbitrage break today? Why is metal trapped in Hong Kong? It's not just market forces, it's legal warfare. While the CME is dark due to technical issues, major bullion banks in Hong Kong have suddenly decided that this weekend, right in the middle of a global liquidity crisis, is the perfect time for system upgrades. We're getting reports from traders in Asia that HSBC Hong Kong and several other custodial vaults have effectively frozen operations. Try to initiate withdrawal of physical silver today? You can't. Try to allocate gold bars for export to London? System is pending. Official reason? Emergency cybersecurity maintenance. Compliance updates. Sounds boring. Sounds like standard corporate bureaucracy. But don't be fooled. This isn't maintenance. This is a siege. There's a piece of legislation that slipped under most people's radar, but it's now the most important document in the global financial system. The Protection of Critical Infrastructure Ordinance. This law came into full force in Hong Kong on January 1st, 2026. Gives authorities sweeping powers to take control of, shut down, or freeze any system deemed critical infrastructure in the event of a cybersecurity threat. Guess what counts as critical infrastructure? Financial clearing systems, precious metals vaults, settlement layers. So connect the dots. Cyberattack, allegedly Salt Typhoon, hits U.S. financial system, causing CME to go dark. Authorities in Hong Kong declare high threat level to their own infrastructure due to global cyber instability. They invoke the ordinance. They tell the banks, Lock it down. No digital transfers. No physical movements. We need to audit systems to ensure no malicious code has infiltrated our vaults. Perfect legal cover. They're not defaulting. They're not saying, we don't have the silver. That would cause panic. Instead, they're saying, we're protecting you. We're securing the system against hackers. Just need to pause withdrawals for a few days to check the code. It's genius. Allows them to stop the bleeding without admitting they're bleeding. Allows China to effectively hoard every ounce of silver currently in Hong Kong warehouses. Metal checks in, but it doesn't check out. Roach Motel for precious metals. This is why the spread is 13. Market knows silver in Hong Kong is trapped behind a digital iron curtain. Traders in London are screaming for metal, willing to pay premiums. But vault managers in Hong Kong are pointing to computer screens saying system lockdown and shrugging. Sorry, mate, can't open the door. Government says we have to scan for malware. Meanwhile, that metal is being quietly retitled, moving from Western custody to Eastern strategic reserves while the lights are off. The timing is undeniable. U.S. reporting goes dark the exact same weekend Hong Kong locks the gates. This is coordinated pincer movement. West hides emptiness of its vaults. East locks doors to its hoard. Caught in the middle is the global supply chain, which is now suffocating. No liquidity, no flow. We've moved from just-in-time delivery to just-in-case hoarding overnight. Think about implications for Monday morning. If you're a short seller, hedge fund that bet against silver, you're sweating bullets. To close your short position, you need to deliver metal or buy it back. But where do you get it? Can't get it from CME because they lost the data. Can't get it from Hong Kong because they're under maintenance. You're trapped in a burning building with no exits. Pressure is building in the pipes. Since there's no physical release valve, since metal can't move to equalize price, the only thing that can move is the paper price. Price on the screen has to go vertical to reflect the fact that the asset is now unobtainable. We're staring at potential force majeure event, legal term for act of God, the clause in contracts that says if we can't deliver metal due to unforeseen circumstances like cyberattack, we don't have to. We can just pay you cash. But what price do they pay you? Fake New York price of $5,200 or real Mumbai price of $5,183? Fight over that settlement price is going to be the bloodiest legal battle in financial history, and it starts when bells ring Monday. So what happens when electronic markets open Sunday night? When algorithms realize liquidity is actually zero? We're sitting in the eye of the hurricane. Saturday night, markets closed, screens frozen, CME website still showing reporting errors. Hong Kong vaults still locked for maintenance, but clock is ticking. In less than 24 hours, when sun rises in Wellington and electronic session kicks off, the financial world is going to unpause. And when it unpauses, it's not going to resume where it left off. It's going to snap. You have to understand physics of a blocked market. Usually financial pressure is released gradually. Prices move up a little, arbitrageurs sell, prices move down. It's a steam valve. Right now, that valve is welded shut. We have $283 spread on gold, 13 spread on silver, broken ledger in Chicago, locked vault in Hong Kong. No mechanism left to equalize pressure. So when market opens, price can't drift higher. It has to teleport. My prediction for Sunday night is simple and terrifying. We're going to see violent repricing event, looking at potential for silver to gap up $20 in first 10 minutes of trading, not 20 cents, $20. Why? Because first trade Sunday night won't be speculation, it'll be covering panic. Imagine you're a short seller, mid-sized hedge fund, short 500 contracts of silver. Went home Friday thinking you were smart because price crashed to $90. Then over weekend you see the news. CME data vanishing, Hong Kong lockdown, spread blowing out. You realize you're short an asset that literally doesn't exist in available float. You realize if you don't cover right now, you might be forced to deliver physical metal you can't buy at any price. Moment the bell rings, you hit buy at market. Don't care about price, just want out. And everyone else is hitting the same button at exact same time. Who's selling? Nobody. Arbitrage bots are offline because of the hack. Miners are holding back supply because they smell blood. Dealers are under maintenance. Wall of buy orders hitting vacuum of sell orders. Price has to jump to a level where someone is finally willing to sell. In a market this broken, that level might be $120, $140 or higher. We're going to see a vertical green line that looks like a glitch, but it'll be the most honest price discovery we've seen in 50 years. But there's a darker possibility. The phrase every commodities trader fears more than death. Force majeure. If CME truly can't reconcile the books. If Salt Typhoon hack actually corrupted ownership records to the point they don't know who owns the gold, they have a nuclear option, they can declare force majeure event, suspend trading, force all contract holders to settle for cash, say, we're sorry we can't give you the gold, here's a check for Friday's closing price. They could try to pay you $90 for silver trading at $130 in China. Ultimate rug pull. Effectively defaults the futures market without calling it a default. They wipe out the short squeeze by changing the rules. If this happens Monday, if you log in and see trading halted or cash settlement only, don't celebrate the check. That check is a confession. Confession that the paper market has failed. It means the contract you held was never a claim on metal. It was a claim on a promise that just got broken. And if they cash settle everyone, what do those people do with the cash? They panic, take that cash and run to physical market to buy real bars. But physical market is already empty. So street price of physical metal will detach completely from settled price of broken exchange. We could see a world where CME price is frozen at $90, but you can't buy real silver for less than $200. Bifurcated reality. This Monday chaos is an inevitable result of the hack. Whether hack was real or false flag doesn't matter anymore. Consequence is that trust has been shattered. Bridge is burned. Global market is now a collection of warring islands. Monday morning, inhabitants of Paper Island are going to try to escape to Physical Island, only to find the boats have been burned. When you see headlines Monday blaming volatility on cyber instability, translate it. It means the run has started. Shorts are trapped. Price is trying to find new equilibrium in a world where paper is no longer accepted as substitute for metal. That 283 spread isn't going to close by U.S. price going up a little. It's going to close by U.S. price exploding to match reality, or U.S. market will simply cease to function, and we'll all be quoting Shanghai price from now on. Here's the verdict. We've stared into the abyss of dark data, analyzed the $283 spread that defies mathematics, seen digital iron curtain fall over Hong Kong, prepared for violent repricing coming when sun rises Monday. But now we need to strip away noise and look at terrifying reality of what this hack represents for you, the individual investor. In modern finance, cyberattack is the ultimate get-out-of-jail-free card for a bankrupt system. If a bank runs out of money, they declare bankruptcy. It's messy, public, people go to jail, but if bank gets hacked, if they suffer a critical infrastructure event attributed to foreign adversary like Salt Typhoon, suddenly they're not incompetent, they're victims. Suddenly freezing your withdrawals isn't default, it's safety measure. So sorry, valued customer. We have the money, we promise. Just can't let you access it right now because we have to scrub servers for Chinese malware. Might take a week or month or year. This is what we're seeing today. Technical issues at CME aren't glitch, they're a shield. Maintenance in Hong Kong isn't update, it's a lock. They're using narrative of cyber war to implement capital controls without passing a single law. Freezing the exits because theater is on fire and they don't have enough extinguishers. $283 spread is smoke billowing from under the door. So if you're holding paper silver, ETF, unallocated pool account, futures contract, you're in the danger zone. You're holding claim ticket for coat check that just burned down. When force majeure hits, when system finally admits metal isn't there, your claim ticket will be worthless. Best case, they pay you out in cash that's rapidly losing value while real metal trades at premium you can't touch. Lesson of this weekend is brutal but simple. If you can't hold it, you don't own it. If there's counterparty between you and your wealth, that counterparty is now point of failure. Hack has proven digital ledger can be erased, manipulated, turned off. But you can't hack a physical silver coin. Can't erase gold bar with line of code. Can't turn off buy button on piece of metal sitting in your own safe. This is why the spread exists. Market is pricing in counterparty risk, saying ounce of gold in your hand in Mumbai is worth 283 more than promise of gold in New York. Market is telling you to get out of the system, screaming at you to convert digital illusions into physical reality before cyber lockdown becomes permanent. We're entering period of systemic partition. West is going dark. East is locking down. Liquidity is vanishing. Monday, price is going to try to find the truth, and truth is going to be expensive. Truth is, there isn't enough metal to cover the paper promises. Hack didn't create shortage, it just revealed it. Don't be distracted by headlines about Salt Typhoon. Don't get caught up in technical jargon of reporting errors. Focus on the signal. Signal is that vault is empty. Signal is that exits are closing. Signal is that only safe harbor is the one you build yourself. The data is dark. The spread is real. Get your metal out.